Hi everybody, I'm Mrs. World of Wayne and welcome to my crafting world. And this week we are finally finishing off the Pirate Book Nook from Cute Bee. So as you can see, we are almost there. And now sort of comes the fun bit, because we can now start to put and place all of the elements that we've made in there. We've got a couple more things to actually make, and I'm going to show you those now because they're the lights. I've already got one. If I just show you on this camera, you can just see it in there. So I've already made one and fixed it in. We've got two more to make that are going to go under either side up here. So let me show you how to make those. So what you get in your pack are some, it's one sheet actually of sort of waxed paper. And on this one sheet, you have got 6 rectangles printed on there. And what you need to do is to cut out one of those rectangles. I'm just going to do this really quickly because I've already cut the ones that I needed out. But obviously you'll take your time. Now, if you remember last week, we made up, I'll show you this one actually. We made up these little cubes. So we made 3 of those and we left them to dry. And these actually form the frame of our lanterns. Now in the instructions, it tells you to take one of these frames and to wrap the waxed paper around it. Now, what you actually need to do is to give it a bit more rigidity, so you need to actually fold it. So what I did was I folded the paper into 3 and gave them some good crease lines. So what that actually left me with was something that looked like this. And because of that, it was easier to wrap and to hold in place on the lantern. So I've already wrapped this one around and I've glued around the edge on one side. So I do need to glue around the wooden part here and on the other side. Just get some glue and dab it on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this to one side and let that glue while we put the other bits and pieces in place. So in the pack, you had a bundle of what looked like gold doubloons, and you popped these out of the wooden board that they were in. And what I then did, the picture just sort of shows them pile them up how you like. I've actually glued them into place. I can pick them up like so. So if I bring back the pirate ship, as you can see, I've already placed the treasure chest behind the stairs. And again, I'm pretty much doing it the way the instructions say, but this is yours to play with and for you to decide how you want to place everything. So my treasure chest is already glued into place. And I'm now going to glue the coins. So I'm just going to place double of glue on the base and on the edge of this one. And I've also got my cannon, and I've got one of the crates that we created in one of the first videos as well. You get 2 cutout characters. You get a bit like a Smee character from Peter Pan. So I've stuck him on the stairs as it asks you to. And we've also got a pirate captain, a Long John Silver character, like so. Now he sticks up here on this top deck. Now, before I stick him on, just want to show you this. When we finished the last video, I'd actually wired in the 2 lights that go here Oops, let me just get a bit out. That's better. Right. So at the end of the last video, I placed a light here behind this top lantern that's just behind the Jolly Roger. And I had also wired in the two lanterns, one this side and one this side. I hadn't actually wired in that bottom one. And the reason for that was because it wasn't quite clear how the wiring came up. So what I had to do, so from the back with the wires, it had to go up through onto the deck. So I'll show you this here now. So it came up through here and then down through a hole in front of the wheel. Now, what that's left us with is a red and a black lead that you can see. So what I plan to do is I've just found a piece of string. So this is like garden twine that we've got at home. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to glue that over the wires just to sort of cover them a bit. I don't think it'd be too bad if both the wires were black, but obviously with electrics, you have to have the different colour wires. So I am just going to try and hide those. If it's on a shelf, in all honesty, if I hold it, in fact, actually, if I turn to the main camera, when it's on a shelf, you're not really going to see it, especially if it's at eye level. But if you look down onto it, then you will see those. So I am going to cover that up. So I just wanted to make you aware of that and to let you know how I'm dealing with that. But what I can do, so I'm going to just pop some glue on this top section here. I have tested the lights, so I do know that they are all working. Famous last words, you can guarantee that when I turn this on at the end, the lights aren't going to work. I'm just going to, I know on board a ship, the ropes would have been really neat. But all I'm trying to do is just to give a bit of camouflage to those wires. So now what I can do is I can get Long John Silver and I can glue him into place as well. So just some glue on the bottom of his foot and his peg leg. And I'm going to place him on the upper deck like so. And I've got another cannon. So I'm going to glue the base of this because I don't want this rolling about. This goes on the top deck. And then I should be able to get going with those lanterns. I'm going to place him just on there like so. So we've now got 2 more lanterns to fit in. So what's going to happen is the bulbs are going to go through the back. So we'll need glue on here and we'll also need glue on the top. Obviously the law of gravity, these are going to fall down. So I am going to lay the ship down just to try and help support it while it dries. Once again, I'm not using a tacky glue, I am using Gorilla Wood glue. So it should hopefully dry quite quickly. So I'm holding the bulb from behind. I've got it inside the paper. So I am going to lay this back down, but as you can see, I've now got all 3 lanterns in. So I've got the one down here that I already had in place and the 2 at the top that I've just put in place. So I'm going to leave that to the side and let that dry for a couple of minutes while I show you the outside. We have got a few more bits to add to the inside, but I need those lights to dry first of all. So there is an outside frame for this kit, and on the inside of it, so the part that faces the ship, we have a very stormy, spooky sea scene with some gulls, and you can see the sea at the bottom and some cliffs. On the reverse of all three, if I show you the other two pieces as well, we have got the most beautiful map. In fact, it is a bit of a shame to actually hide this. Typically book nooks do go in between books, but this is, the outside of it is so beautiful that I do think it might be the sort of thing that you would want just to have on a shelf and not to hide it in between some books. So this is what is going on the outside. Each of the parts is lettered. So we've got A, B and C. And C is the back portion. Now this part here is cut out so that the battery pack can be pulled out. So the battery pack, if you remember in one of the other videos I showed you, is in a little drawer that we've made. And this is the section that you can pull it in and out on. Now, also, we were given 4 things to add, so 4 embellishments to add to these side panels, so part A and part B. Now, we made these up in, I think, the last video. It might have been the video before. So we had 2 ghosts. Now, I've already stuck these on here, and I purely did that because, A, you don't need to see me stick these onto the side. But again, also because of gravity, if I glued them and then immediately stood them up, they would have slid down. So it was just a bit of pre-thinking on my part. We were also given this fish and this octopus. And these were also supposed to go onto these 2 panels. However, when I looked at it, I couldn't quite work out how you would have a fish and an octopus above the water. So I looked at these scenes and I thought, well, initially, are they underwater? Okay, if this is a haunted pirate ship, then actually is this all set, set underwater? But obviously we've got the gulls, so it can't be. So what I decided to do was I put mine on the outside Sea Hunters frame that goes at the front. If you want to add yours to the side panels, do so if you don't want to include them at all. But that is something I did change because just logically I thought they're not going to be there. Hopefully, if I just pop these to the side, hoping the lanterns are going to be dry enough so that we can add the final few pieces in or onto the boat. So we have got a couple of sacks. We've got the lovely chest that we made that had the lantern. I stuck the book onto it once the book was dry. We've got the telescope and the map. And we've also got 2 barrels to go on and another life ring. So let's bring this back. So you'll have to excuse the comedy moment if those lanterns decide that they do want to fall down. Now again, you can put the things where you like, whatever you find aesthetically pleasing. Remember, when you're putting the barrels in, make sure that you put them up the right way. There is a top and a bottom. Otherwise, you're going to end up with upside down crates. Upside down barrels. This has got to be the best bit, this whole dressing. In fact, you're really lucky that I lasted until this video, because I just wanted to get everything stuck in. But I said no, because I can't show you a video of just me sitting here with everything saying, here, it's done. And also, I didn't want to put the barrels in when I still had the lights to fit in. So, that's that. So, let me show you. So we're now up to the final bit where we're going to be sticking on the sides. So it'll look just like this. Before I do that, let me just show you and remind you where the batteries go. So that's what this part is here. So we've got a drawer that has now got a little knob on the end of it as well, and that will protrude from the back plate. So if I face it this way, let's put the side panels on. Okay, so section C is the part that goes at the back, and there are 2 spaces for it to sit. So it has to go just over the battery pack. Okay, so B is going to the left hand side as you look at the boat, and I am going to put some glue on these sections. Now, the thing with this build, you have to remember that you can't put lots of pressure onto the actual pirate ship. So when you are trying to squeeze sections together, ease it gently and just be very careful about where you put that pressure. And again, slot this section in. So again, I'm just going to lay on its side and just gently exert some pressure just to seal all of those sections. Let me pop that over there. I need a bit more glue. In fact, what I'm going to do, no, actually I will put it in here. The last thing I need now is oodles of glue everywhere. I've got the bigger space on the actual frame to put glue. So that's the bit I'm going to glue. I know you don't need as much glue. It doesn't need to come out as far as what I'm doing. But it does make it easier. Remember, we don't need any glue at the top. There isn't anything attaching the top. Obviously, this is going to need to dry. But let me show you what that looks like. I'm being a bit impatient. But just look how cool that looks. And let me turn the lights on. So now you can see the bottom one is lit at all as well. That is just so cool. I really love it. I'm just going to pop that there. So I really hope that you liked that build. I loved making that, and I know a couple of people have gone out and bought it, and I've seen on Instagram some finished models as well that people have made. I think this is the perfect project for older children or, you know, adult supervised younger children, because in all honesty, it wouldn't have taken me that long if I'd have just done it in one whole stretch. Obviously, you have to wait for things to dry. So probably a couple of days, purely so that you can sort of go backwards and forwards to it. But, you know, in the UK, we're going into the summer holidays in a couple of weeks' time. America, I know you're already in your summer holidays. And I think most of Europe are into their summer holidays as well. Australia, you're in winter, so it's not your holidays. But it is just one of those really, really great projects. I know I did make a mistake in my last video, so I do want to say Cupey did give us a discount code. I thought it was for any product on their website, and it's not. It is actually only for the Sea Hunter Pirate Book Nook. So I do apologise for anybody that tried to use it on any of the other projects. But as I say, this is a fantastic project in itself. They do have other book nooks. They have one called the Eternal Bookshop, which I think I might actually have to buy for myself because I really like that. I think this one might be winging its way to some of my little great nephews I think they might appreciate having this on their bookcase. But I really hope you did enjoy that build. Next week, we're going to be finishing off the Cute Bee, or carrying on, I should say, not finishing, but carrying on with the Cute Bee Quiet House. And then once that's finished, I've got a lovely little project from Rolife to do and to show for you. So guys, if you liked that video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to follow any of the other builds, please subscribe. Bye.